Timeless treasures. In a cozy little house, nestled on a quiet street, lived a girl named Lily. She loved exploring every corner of her home. But her favorite place was a small shelf holding a photo album. This album was like a magical time machine, filled with precious memories that brought smiles and warmth to Lily's heart. Lily's mom had captured the most beautiful moments of her childhood in that album. As Lily turned the pages, she saw photos of her mom as a young girl, laughing with her grandparents. Lily's mom had told her stories about those days. How she would spend hours in her grandparents' garden, planting colorful flowers and chasing butterflies. The photos showed her mom baking cookies with her grandma and building little birdhouses with her grandpa. These memories were like a bridge to the past, connecting Lily to the wonderful people who had filled her mom's life with love and joy. But the photo album didn't just hold memories of the past. It also held the story of Lily's arrival into the world. There, on one of the pages, was a photo of her mom holding Lily in her arms, just moments after she was born. Lily loved hearing the tale of how her mom's eyes had sparkled with happiness when she first held her, and how her dad's face was a mix of awe and wonder. The photo showed Lily's tiny fingers curled around her mom's thumb, and Lily would giggle, imagining how she must have looked like a little star that had just landed on Earth. Lily felt a deep connection to the album, to the memories it held, and to the love that wrapped around every photograph. One day, Lily had an idea. She decided to create her own page in the album. With her mom's help, she pasted a picture of herself holding a crayon in one hand and a big smile on her face. Underneath, in her own wobbly handwriting, she wrote, "The day I was born." Her mom's eyes welled up with happy tears as she saw the page Lily had made. And so, the photo album continued to hold memories, not just from the past, but from the present too. It was a special book that reminded Lily that love and happiness were woven through time, connecting her to the people she loved, both old and new. As Lily grew, she knew that one day, she would pass on the album to her own children, so they could feel the warmth of these heartwarming memories too. The recipe of love. In a warm and cozy kitchen filled with sunlight, there was a special recipe that had been handed down through many generations. It was Grandma's cherished recipe for chocolate chip cookies, holding a heartwarming memory that made everyone happy. When Lily's mom was a young girl, she used to visit her grandma's house every summer. Grandma would greet her with a loving hug and the delicious smell of freshly baked cookies. Lily's mom would help her grandma in the kitchen, wearing a colorful apron that was a bit too big for her. While they mixed the dough, Lily's mom would listen to her grandma's stories. They would laugh as they accidentally spilled flour on the counter and dropped chocolate chips on the floor. But those small mishaps didn't matter, because the real happiness came from baking together. One day, as they were making cookies, Lily's mom asked, "Grandma, how do these cookies taste so amazing?" Grandma smiled and whispered, "It's the secret ingredient. Love. When you bake with love, it makes everything taste extra special." That memory was the heart of the recipe. The memory of laughter, stories, and the secret that made the cookies more than just a treat. They became a symbol of the love between grandma and granddaughter. Years later, Lily's mom stood in her own kitchen, looking at the recipe card written in her grandma's handwriting. she decided to bake the cookies for Lily's school bake sale. As Lily helped mix the dough, her mom shared the stories her grandma had told her. Lily listened with excitement, imagining the kitchen filled with love and laughter. When the cookies came out of the oven, they had the same magical smell that had once filled Grandma's kitchen. Lily's mom understood that the secret ingredient wasn't just love. It was the memories that made the recipe special. Lily took the cookies to school, and her friends couldn't get enough. They asked for the recipe, and Lily proudly shared the story of her grandma's recipe and the special memory it held. The cookies sold out fast, and Lily felt a warm feeling in her heart, as if her grandma's love had touched everyone who tasted them. And so, the recipe continued to be a treasured tradition in their family. Every time they baked the cookies, they remembered the joy of baking with love, the stories they shared, and the sweet connection between generations. Just like that, the memory of Lily's great-grandma lived on, one chocolate chip cookie at a time. Grandpa's cuckoo clock. In Lily's house, there was a special clock that wasn't like the ones you see on the wall. It was Grandpa's cuckoo clock, perched on a shelf, its tiny door hiding a charming surprise. Every hour, a little wooden bird would pop out and sing a cheerful song, "Cuckoo, cuckoo." The sound made Lily smile, but the clock meant even more to her than just its hourly song. When Lily's mom was a little girl, she used to visit her grandpa's house. He had the same cuckoo clock back then. Grandpa would let Lily's mom wind the clock and set the time. It became their little ritual whenever she visited. One day, as Lily's mom was winding the clock, she asked her grandpa, "Why do you love this clock so much, Grandpa?" He smiled and replied, "This clock holds the memories of all the moments I've spent with the people I love. Every cuckoo reminds me of the laughter and joy we've shared." Years passed, and now the cuckoo clock belonged to Lily's family. Her grandpa had passed it down, along with all the stories it held. Whenever Lily heard the bird's cheerful call, she thought about her grandpa and the love he had for the clock. One summer, Grandpa came to visit. He sat with Lily on the couch, and they watched the clock together. Lily listened intently as Grandpa told her stories about his own childhood and the adventures he'd had. The cuckoo bird joined in their conversation, its song seeming to echo the happiness in the room. Before Grandpa left, he gave Lily a small key. "This is for the clock," he said. "Now you can wind it and make memories of your own." Lily felt a big responsibility with the little key. She wound the clock carefully, just like her mom and Grandpa had done before her. The cuckoo sounded, and Lily imagined that each call carried a piece of her family's love and history. As years went by, the cuckoo clock continued to share its cheerful song. Lily grew older, and she eventually had kids of her own. She would gather them around the clock and tell them stories of her grandpa and all the memories that had been made around that very clock. And so, the cuckoo clock became more than just a timekeeper. It became a bridge that connected generations, a melody of love and laughter that echoed through time. The cuckoo of the clock was a reminder that even though people may not always be with us, their love and the memories they leave behind continue to sing in our hearts. Grandma's quilt. In Lily's cozy home, there was a quilt that held a very special place. It was made by Lily's grandma with love and care, and it was a treasure that wrapped Lily in warmth and wonderful memories. When Lily's mom was a little girl, her grandma sat with her by the fireplace, teaching her how to sew. They would pick colorful fabrics and stitch them together, creating a patchwork of stories. Each stitch carried a whisper of love, and as they worked, Lily's mom would listen to her grandma's tales. One day, as they sewed, Lily's mom asked, "Grandma, why do you love making quilts so much?" Her grandma smiled and replied, "Because a quilt is like a hug that never ends. It holds the stories of our family, the joy and laughter, and the moments we've shared." Years passed, and the quilt found a new home with Lily and her family. Whenever Lily wrapped herself in its soft embrace, she felt her grandma's love surround her. The quilt had patches of bright colors, just like the stories it held. The story of her mom's childhood, the story of her grandma's laughter, and the story of the love that tied them all together. One summer, Lily's grandma came to visit. They sat on the porch, the quilt spread over their laps, and Lily's mom joined them too. Lily listened as her grandma told stories of her own youth, and her mom shared stories of growing up. It was like a quilt of words, stitching generations together. Before her grandma left, she gave Lily a special gift, a tiny, heart-shaped charm. "This is for your quilt," she said. "Whenever you look at it, remember that our love is woven into every stitch." Lily sewed the charm onto a corner of the quilt, right next to a patch of her favorite color. From that day on, whenever she looked at the quilt, she could feel her grandma's presence and hear her mom's laughter. And so, the quilt became more than just a blanket. It became a tapestry of love, a patchwork of memories, and a cozy hug that wrapped around generations. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to be the first to see our new videos. If you enjoyed this, please like and share with your friends. We love hearing from you, so leave your thoughts in the comments below. Stay tuned and stay awesome. We'll see you again in the next video. Bye.